Welcome to CourtHelicopter Explainer, where we are wishing you a happy Easter festivities and safe travel. Make sure you enjoy yourself, but dance well, but don't dance yourself lame. Come back to work when you are rejuvenated, you have stayed with your family, and you have enjoyed yourself. We are talking about the question of compulsory acquisition. Can government take your land, your private land, where today you are seated taking your uji in the village? Do you know government has power to compulsorily acquire any land? How? My good crew, Vivian asked, no, our land. How can government come and take our land? We were born here. Our great parents are buried here. Our great ancestors are buried here. When I'll also die, I'll be buried here. How can government just walk and take my land like that? But the question is, what is the law? We can talk a lot. We can talk about the sentimental attachment to the graves. We can talk about the sentimental attachments to the shrines. We can talk about our sentimental attachments to the trees that we know, to those things, the features that we know. Wakili Dan Sanomari tells you, under Article 40 of the Constitution, under Article 40 of the Constitution, the government can take your land. Let me read for you, so that you know that the government can take land from you and there's nothing that you'll do. In Article 43A, the state is not supposed to deprive you land unless it meets the following: that it acquires that land for a public purpose or in the public interest, and is carried out in accordance with this Constitution and Act of Parliament. So the Constitution allows government to acquire compulsorily any land for the public use. Parliament enacted the National Land Commission Act, and under Section 107, the government, the national government, acquires land compulsorily through the National Land Commission. All county governments equally can acquire your land by compulsory acquisition under those provisions of Article 40 and under the Section 107 of the National Land Commission Act. But the Constitution says they can acquire land for public good. For example, we are now having a SGR moving all the way to Malaba. All that land where the SGR will pass, the government will acquire that land whether you like it or not. If the government wants to build an airport, for example, the airport at JKIA is being expanded, anybody bordering that land, that will be acquired by government. Is there a school around near you? The school is a public entity. If the number of students increase, the land near the school will be acquired by force, what is called compulsory acquisition. Is there a prison near you? The prison can be expanded by, or a police station, it can be expanded by compulsory acquisition. So government can acquire any land by compulsory acquisition. Let us also deal with the question of minerals. Are there minerals under your land? The government will acquire that land compulsorily. If there is gold, if there is a diamond, if there is any form of mineral, coal, petroleum, anything, the government will acquire that land compulsorily. Is there a hospital that is needed? The government will acquire that land compulsorily. But there is a condition. In Article 40, it requires the government to promptly pay in full just compensation to the person. It must pay. It is not going to acquire without paying. So the procedure is there will be valuation of the land that the government is capturing. It will be valued and you will be paid at the commercial rate at that time. So we are going to see billionaires in Luo Nyanza, billionaires in Bomet, billionaires in Kisii, billionaires in Nyamira, billionaires in Kisumu, all the area where the SGR will pass, they must be compensated. Has your county government acquired land by building roads? Yes, you must be compensated. That is the law. You must be compensated at the market price. So let no road be passed in your county over your land without compulsory acquisition. Has Kenya Power passed their ports around your land, over your land? Those pylons passing up, that is compulsory acquisition. You are supposed to be paid at the market rate. Has water passed through your land? If the Ministry of Water must pay. Any usage of private land must be compensated at the market rate. But you can never stop government from taking over your land. That is why the law talks of compulsory acquisition. Why is this thing called compulsory acquisition? It's a concept in law called the radical title. And everybody has a title to their land, but there is only one radical title owned by the government of Kenya. The whole of the country has one title called the radical title. The radical title generates individual titles. That is why the government can take your land. It is his own land. So today, you know, the concept of the radical title is a principle in law that tells you that all land belongs to the crown. All land belongs to the government. That is, if they want to develop the land, they acquire their land, but they will pay. Previously, before the old constitution, there was no payment. But now the new constitution, Article 40, provides for payment, even if the government produces what is called the radical title. What is going to be paid during compulsory acquisition? One, they'll pay the value of the land. Two, they will pay any development that you have done there. But so long as you are not doing the development after the government has acquired that land. So the trees that are there will be paid. The coffee plantations will be counted and be paid. The tea plantations will be paid. Will you be paid for the dogs and cows, the livestock? No, you will not be paid for those that you can move with. But the house that you have built, you'll be paid. The pen for the dog, you'll be paid. The small cow shed that you have built for your cow will be paid. But the cow, the donkey, the camel, you'll be told, move away with it. The Sukuma Wiki will be paid. Today you know that government can take your land and there's nothing you'll do. How do you avoid this situation? We shall be doing the next episode what is called the Physical Planning Act, which you need to read and know that government plans. For example, if you check the SGR was designed around 1980. It is being implemented now. So don't go buying land without knowing what government has planned for that area. Wakili Dan Sanomari always bringing to you the really law, not the episodes all over. Can you also raise the issue of graves? Yes, under the Exhumation Act, we provided for the procedures they will do to exhume bodies. Because SGR cannot meander to avoid graves. Airports cannot have a grave within an airport. They must exhume that body. I know it is emotional, but that is the law. Public interest overrides individual interests. Now you understand why compulsory acquisition is a constitutional provision and you cannot stop it. Keep watching. My advice, try not to buy land near government installations. If there's a military barrack around you, just one day they'll extend that land. Buy land away from government infrastructure. Keep watching and enjoy your uji over Easter. Wakili Dan Sanomari. Thank you.